Off we go.
Okay. Well, what you see a student doing here is roughing out a billet. This has been shaved, prepared on the shave horse, mounted up, and now he's getting it to a true cylinder. The stance is important. One leg needs to be firmly fixed onto the board at the bottom, otherwise the treadle moves around. The other leg is free to move up and down in a rhythmical action. It's important to get the rhythm going. And also, I keep saying to keep a pressure on the treadle even at the top of the stroke, otherwise it bounces around. So there's a controlled pressure there. It's not just jumping up and down on the treadle, it's controlled. The upper body is held, the torso is fairly fixed. It's the foundation from which a controlled movement comes through the arms. So a lot of work, in fact, comes from the shoulders. I find after a day's full turning, my shoulders hurt and my elbows hurt because they're in fact held more or less rigidly, and the movement comes very finely from the hands. You can see the hands here, the right hand is just pushing that tool forward. As the leg comes down, the wood turns towards you for a stroke. This is very different from modern machine turning, where you've got continuous motion. This is reciprocating action. So it's much more rhythmical, it's backwards and forwards, and you've got to get in sync with that movement.
Cool. Brilliant.
Otherwise it doesn't work.
So this is also the beauty of creating items that you can use, because actually you'll quickly find out if it's not going to work. It's something that you can see, either the stool works or it doesn't. So putting the stool together and finding the right angle of the legs is another bit of work that needs to be done.
Yes, yeah, and then you're thinking much more mathematically.
Exactly.
You know,
so
you've got to divide a circle into three. There are leg angles, compound angles in fact. When you get onto Windsor chairs, you've got compound angles. So you're angling in two directions.
Yeah.
And that gets a bit tricky actually.
That does. And so there is, what you're saying is that in the practical skills curriculum we've got mathematics.
To quite a considerable extent, but it's very applied mathematics. It's not jiggling around with numbers. It's much more geometry. Well, it is geometry.
Beautiful. Yeah. So it makes sense to the students. It's not an abstract process.
Completely. You only do it because you want to achieve something else. It's a means to an end.
Exactly.
It's not just standalone theoretical problem.
So that's also why the curriculum at Clairvaux, where you teach, is special and different from the mainstream. It's applied.
It's always applied.
It's always applied. That's very good.
Don't do it if it's not applied. Because as a craftsman, I don't waste my time thinking about the theory of it all and the intricate mathematics of it. I'm usually in a hurry, and it's got to be done quickly. So yes, I do mathematics, but then I make templates from it. So the maths is in the template, you whack it on, mark it up. I know it's not the way you should teach your students. Every time you should be measuring it out, and that's what I do.
Very good. Very, very good.